Hello and welcome back to analysis of XAUUSD gold. My name is Vic. Thanks for joining me here. So gold, what it did actually, it came to this particular level in the previous sessions. Here it came around here and it started to fall, and this is where a gap was. If you have missed my previous analysis, go and check it out. We discussed that possibility that gold was going to probably come to this level around 1988.3 and then close that gap, and then it could fall. So that's what gold has done. And now in terms of scenarios, so there are two major scenarios, higher time frame scenarios, and these scenarios are basically like this. So let me grab my pen, and then I should be able to show you those scenarios here. So the first one that we have got is actually a W pattern here. So we have a W pattern here which has completed, but the next one which can be here is like this. So if the market starts to go up and breaks this midpoint, then market can go up into near about 2040 or 2035 level, and we have a very good structure level here as well. So this will have a W pattern. Okay, so this is one of the scenarios, and this is the bullish scenario on gold. The next one that we've got is actually a bearish scenario, because we have a possibility of an M pattern as well. So if the market actually comes here and breaks this midpoint, then the market will come down and it will become like an M pattern. There's a possibility of having a both combinations, right? So we can have a W pattern, or we can have a W pattern like this and then fall like this. So there are multiple scenarios, and we should simply have a plan for both of them. So for all the scenarios, and then we should simply execute based on how the market behaves. Now in terms of the local structure, so because that was long term structure, and the local structure, what it has been doing, so what we can see here is simply like this, that market created a kind of M pattern here, and it pushed the market up on smaller time frame. So if you go to 1 hour time frame, you will see that market actually went up. Now that move has already has already finished. So what I'm expecting is that gold can actually start to fall down even further down to near about here around 1910 area, or even lower than that. We'll see those levels because I've already marked them in the analysis, but that is a possibility. And this move, depending on how the market behaves, depending on how the conditions are, this can be very quick. It can be it may not stop at some of these levels. It can be very quick as well. One of the reasons is that some of this needs to be cleaned up, and at the same point, this is where the actual liquidity is. You see, we have kind of a double bottom here, so the market could be heading towards the same area or even lower than that. So that is why this can be a very good move if you're looking for a short opportunity. Now you should only be looking for good swing trade long opportunities if the market actually challenges this level here, which is the previous structure. Now what is this level? This is approximately 1960 level or so, right? So you should go to your chart, go to a 4 hour time frame, and see what level it is, right? So this is where it can look for you can look for bullish opportunity, and it can go to the previous structure, and if the previous structure is broken, then we know that it could be forming a W pattern. Okay, that can be bullish scenario. Now if the market continues to fall, then we can approximately we can say that it will probably reach 1910 or so. Okay, so let's bring in the analysis. So these are the levels. Now before that, let me actually point out on one trend line which has already been broken here. The market has closed below this trend line, so that shows that market can be more bearish now. As you can see, it actually reacted to this trend line, went up, and it also reacted because of the M pattern. Now it has been going down. So the next level, if the market falls down, is 1921, and then we have 19. There should be actually 1910 or a level as well. So let me put that in there for you. So let me just copy this, and 1910 approximately, this level is going to be there, and then we have an FCP zone just after that. So this is where the market can come down to. If these levels do not actually stop the market from falling down, then, and if they get broken, basically these areas or these zones and levels can act as support and profit targets for your short entries. If market does not stop at any moment, any level here, then the next level is going to be 1890 point something, because this is where the previous structure is. And if that is also broken, then we are looking for an area here, an FCP zone, which is around 1865.247, and that if that is also gone, then we are looking for the next FCP zone, which is approximately around 1843. So these are all the bearish scenarios below this trend line. On in terms of bullish scenario, as I said before, you should look for good swing opportunities if the market actually breaks through this particular structure, which is 1958, 1960, 1958, this particular structure here. If it actually breaks through that, then the next upward movement will be around, next upward target will be around 1975. Then we'll go back to this gap area. Now that gap has already been closed, as I pointed out in the group as well. So that has been already closed, but it may just come back to the same level once again, and that is 1988.347. Then we have this FCP zone of 2003, which is like, very close to 2000 level, again psychological number. Then last time it barely actually touched 2000 here. This peak here, this particular peak was not able to touch 2000. Okay, so market could actually go back into this FCP zone and then start to fall down. You see, at all of these levels, the market can actually fall down at all of these levels because they will be acting as resistance. Now, if the market continues to go up, then we are looking for near about 2032, this particular area where we have the completion of this bigger W pattern that we were talking about. Okay, and when W pattern completes, the market goes down, so that will be another bearish scenario. So overall, the trading plan will be very simply, again, because the market is like, below this trend line, I'm looking for bearish opportunities. Right, the first level will be around 1921, and then the next one will be 1910. After that, we are looking for this FCP zone, which is very close to 1910, and that is 1905. After that, we have 1990. So once the market has reached this particular FCP zone of 1905, then you should reassess the market, because the market can go back up, because at that point in time, this has reached a FCP zone. Okay. If it starts to go above 1958, I'll look for long positions, and one step at a time, right? I'll be trading one step at a time. Okay. So this is our analysis on gold for the next week. If you enjoyed this, if you found this useful, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other traders and trading communities so that they can also benefit from it. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great trading week.